the DORK Podcast with Rich Keefe. It's the DORK Podcast. Keefe Davey. It's the DORK Podcast. Hashtag. It's the hashtag DORK Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by Davey Eyeballs. He is Rick Rude Von Dick Dude. He is Razzle Von Dazzle. He is promo code Ron Von D. Y'all know who he is.
It's Ryan. It's Ryan. It's my Ryan. My Ryan.
All hail the king of ginger ale. It's Ryan. Davey, how are you?
I'm good now. That'll never not be funny to me. There's certain things on this program that I will always find funny.
My name is Jeff.
What are we, 10 years old? I've seen every cock on the planet.
The whole point. We should have, like, if we don't have a topic, once we do Jessica, we'll just do board night. Soundboard night.
Soundboard. I just try to add new sounds. See
how
many sounds would take you to laugh. Oh, it'd be like one. I would find something so obscure that you'd have no idea that I was going to have it, and then it'd be an easy game.
That's the play. That's the play.
Game. What's new? Anything?
First day of school today, so that was good. I got to teach a little bit, which is nice. It's always nice to get back to doing what you do.
I like that.
You know,
good.
That's in a new school, and so it's just it's just having fun. Coaching football.
Are you getting a warm welcome there or what?
Oh hell yeah! It's been nice. It's been nice to be here where you're wanted.
It's nice to be nice.
It's nice to be nice. It's nice to have nice things and do good.
I've always had that mindset. Right. We kind of stumbled into this episode, this topic, and I think it's going to be a good one. It's something that it's, of course, one of the 6 main focuses of the program, and we don't do enough of it. So I am thrilled to get into it in a little bit, but we also have quite a bit of news.
This week in DORK. Yeah.
Earlier today, and we tweeted it out as well at Dork Podcast, the trailer for the Hawkeye series coming to Disney Plus on November 24th. For your first impressions?
Not great. I don't like the Christmas aspect to it. I don't like that they were pretty heavy-handed on that. I think that's kind of lame.
They went very Christmas heavy.
Yeah.
With the lights and the music and the whole thing.
The music, yeah. I don't know.
I'll tell you what you're going to want to get, though, is the Hawkeye comic book, My Life as a Weapon by Matt Fraction.
Yes.
They're using the same goddamn font. That one scene where they're in the car with the trick arrows is directly ripped from that.
Right.
And you're probably going to want to get that now because come November, I bet that sells out. You're going to have a hard time getting that comic.
I actually have a digital copy of that, which is actually quite nice. So that's awesome. But
I have a physical up above.
It is would you say the seminal Hawkeye work? If you're going to read, it's the only one I can think of. Now, an Old Man Logan, there is an Old Man Hawkeye, and he's actually in Old Man Logan. But
I would love that version of him too, but just a straight Hawkeye book, that is 100% what you need to read. And then when you combine Kate Bishop, and that's what the show's going to be all about,
right?
That's what you need.
That's what you need. And I think she's going to be actually pretty good.
I do too.
I
think she has a chance to be one of the 2 or 3 best characters added in Phase 4.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. One of my favorite characters, and probably in the Avengers video game, which I have been playing, by the way, is vastly improved. Right. One of my favorite characters to play.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. It is fun. It's a good idea. We're going to get into video games and what ones
a lot of them
they are making and maybe which ones they should make, but a Hawkeye game would be a good time. So I like that. Speaking of Marvel, the What If series has continued. They are 5 episodes in. We just had the Zombies episode. Episode 6 is this week. It's going to involve Killmonger. So I'm hoping to like this one. I think
you didn't like the Zombies one.
I liked the Zombies one fine.
It was fine.
I thought it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I loved episode 2. Loved it. Everything else has been kind of more missed than hit for me.
Yeah, I like the Strange one a little bit more than you.
Yeah,
I'm with you that this one was just fine, but I think the Killmonger saving Tony Stark,
pretty cool,
could be something.
Mm-hmm.
Could have something there.
I like it. 2 new movies came out this week. Well, 2 new movies that I saw. There's probably more movies that came out than that. One on Netflix, one on HBO Max. First on Netflix, friend of the podcast, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, starred in an action romp entitled Kate. Did you see it?
I did.
What do you think?
I'm going to say it for the first time in the program. Chode jeans.
No.
This movie was absolute chode jeans.
You thought it was Chode jeans?
I did.
Come on.
Fucking junk.
I was going to ask you.
Laser beam! It's better than fireballs, you pussy!
All right,
Now-
it wasn't better than Fireballs, you pussy, but I actually liked it. I thought it was entertaining. She's great, and maybe I'm swayed because what also
I think
happened
you are.
earlier. What happened earlier this year was the Amazon Prime movie Without Remorse with Michael B. Jordan. In hindsight, sucked, but I just like Michael B. Jordan so much that I have it ranked way higher than it should be. And it's probably the same case here. If Mary Elizabeth Winstead wasn't in it, I probably would not have liked it as much.
And I think that so in my mind, she was great. I thought she was good in the movie. I thought the movie, it went like super fast out of the gate. And you're like, all right, this is going to be something. And then it just fucking dragged. Like it's an hour and a half movie, and 40 minutes in, I'm like, how is there still 50 minutes of this movie?
There was a little bit of meat left on that bone, and also predictable. Like without spoiling anything, I would just say, Christ.
And the action was good until it wasn't. I'm only saying that, and that's a stupid thing to say, but I can't give it away. If you want to watch it, be my guest. But god damn it.
She also was, I thought the action was better than like Gunpowder Milkshake, but worse than. Trying to think what else.
Fireballs. Worse than Fireballs.
Fireballs, way worse than Fireballs. Worse than Mortal Kombat. Worse than Peppermint. Worse than. And the problem is with all these movies where you have one really, really badass character, unfortunately, they all get compared to John Wick, and none of them are as good as John Wick, and none of them will be as good as John Wick.
This is like if you ordered John Wick on Wish. This is what you would. This is what would show up at your door. And not only that, sorry.
You know what I might be into?
What?
And you're the music guy on the podcast, but I think I might really like Japanese pop music.
I was
like serious
music. The music is. I like was it like the Japanese like pop rock, like almost metal?
Yeah,
is legit.
They had like a bunch of it in there, and I'm like, I like this. And they had some real cool hero shots too of slow-mo walking Mary Elizabeth Winstead, like bleeding, smoking a butt, like fucking cool. Like
here's the problem too. Like the other thing that I didn't like too is just die. Like how much can you go through? Like there's a shot of her, she gets shot through the shin and essentially what
goddamn movie.
Well, okay, so she gets shot in the shin bone,
okay,
and walks it off,
which would hurt like a mother.
You wouldn't be able to shatter your bone.
Oh, I hit this coffee table like once a week, and then I'm in a puddle on the ground.
Right, you imagine being shot through the bone in your leg.
No,
turn it to dust, and you get up and walk it off. No way.
You can call me soft all you want. I can't really imagine getting shot.
Nope, that'll be it for me. Apparently, it burns. It burns first.
Would you rather get shot or stabbed?
Have I been shot? You know that with an arrow. I have been shot.
Arrow.
Yeah, I've never been shot with a gun. But
is that why you like Hawkeye so much?
It could be. There could be some deep-seated revenge that I need to take on it. I was working as a summer camp counselor. I worked in both archery and riflery. So, and I was better. I just happened to be preternaturally good at archery.
Yeah.
So
sometimes you gravitate towards a certain skill,
or you just pick something up and you're like immediately good at it. I was immediately good at shooting arrows for some reason.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
It's something just clicked. I wonder if you ask anybody if they've done something like that where they just picked it up. That was one of the first things in my life I immediately picked up and was good at.
Anything that I continue to do or that I still do in my life today, I at least started at a certain level, because if I was bad at something, I'm the kid. I'm done. I couldn't skate right away. Not skating. I couldn't.
Okay. What is the thing you should be good at, but you're not?
Probably skating.
Skating?
Like my whole family can skate. It's not like my family is from New England. My parents from Massachusetts. My sister played hockey, like from New Hampshire. Everybody can skate. Everybody can fucking skate. I can't skate.
Now, please vouch for me here, right? I'm not saying that I should have been a professional on any level in any sport, but I was athletic.
Fair. Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
If you look at me like, all right, he can throw, he can run, he can skate, he can do all these things. It is embarrassing for me. Two things athletically that I simply cannot do. I can't bowl to save my life.
Really?
I stink. I don't know what it is. I just can't bowl. And throwing a frisbee, pathetic. Can't do it. I just cannot do it. It's the one time my wife laughed at me, like doing something like that.
A dramatically different skill than throwing a ball.
It's so backwards.
I'm not good at it either. But I'm good enough to be a competitive can jam player. Like I can play can jam, but that's
you're kind of just like tossing it.
Kind of tossing and flicking it, and you're hoping the guy can smash it into it or whatever else. So I can get okay there. But if you're like, hey, I'm gonna run down the field, hit me with this disc, I'm like, no, dude,
nope. It's gonna do that big bending curve thing, and I'm gonna look like a dope.
It's not happening.
Can't do it.
So Kate came out. You didn't like Kate.
Nope. Chode jeans.
Malignant came out on HBO Max.
Yes.
This is the new James Wan movie. Of course, James Wan did Saw. He did Dead Silence, The Conjuring. He also did one of the Fast and Furious movies and Aquaman.
Yes.
The guy's had a crazy career.
That's a wild resume.
It is. It's crazy, but I love his horror stuff. I love it. Here's what I'd say about Malignant. First of all, did you watch it?
I'm going to. So I'm interested in what your take on it.
I think this is going to be some people's favorite movie of the year. And it is also going to be some people's least favorite movie of the year.
Hang on to that. There's something to that. Hang on to it. We'll circle back to that. Remind me to circle back to that.
I'll just say, I think if you're a fan of horror movies, if you enjoyed like 70s and 80s horror or like Cronenberg and stuff like that, you can tell James Wan is such a super fan of horror movies. But I could also see how it might turn people off big time. So I just watched it by myself, and I came away being like, I liked it. I've liked a lot of movies more this year. I've also liked a lot of movies less, but I could see how this one would really be the extreme.
Did you see that thing where I applied the thing? $1,300 to watch 30 horror movies or something?
Yeah, no, I did. I applied too. So
I absolutely applied.
It's 13 movies.
Yes, $100 a pop.
$1,300 in October over the span of like 10 days. And it's some website or some company or whatever. They're going to send you a Fitbit and they want you to attach it to yourself while you watch these movies. And they had the list of movies. It was like Saw.
And they're good.
Purge, Quiet Place, a lot of newer stuff. Nothing really old. There's like a lot of newer stuff. And then we're going to throw you $50 for the rentals. And I signed up immediately.
I hope we both get picked.
I do too. I know Courtney Cox from the Greg Hill Show. She told me she signed up too. I'm like, God damn it. We need less people to sign up so we have a chance. I don't know how many people they're picking either. That'd be fun as hell. And they should pick us because then we would talk about it all month during Dorktober.
And live stream it and be like, where'd your heart rate hit? I mean, the content alone.
Oh my God.
Yeah. If it's a company, we'll pump their tires. We'll send you their way. It'd be great.
A win-win for Christ's sake. But let me know what you think of Malignant. I'm excited. I want to know. We got the trailer for The Matrix Resurrections, which comes out HBO Max December 22nd in theaters as well, but it will be an HBO Max release same day, otherwise known as The Matrix 4. What did you think of this?
I'm excited. I know I'm in the minority. Love is a strong word. I love the first Matrix.
Yeah.
Very much like the second Matrix. And I like Matrix. Was it Revelations? No, this is Resurrection Revolution.
I like the third one. I thought the first one was great. I thought the second one was like, all right, I see what's going on here. The third one I did not care for.
I can't think. Revolutions. I can't think to save my life. I once said Revelations. It's Revolutions. I can't think to save my life. But I like that movie more than most people.
Okay.
I'm a Matrix fan. So I am so interested to see how this works because
the trailer looks good.
It looks snappy. It looks crisp.
We've been bamboozled
before. So the premise, I'm guessing, is that the actual Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, died in the third one. But the machines have been making more and more people, and it's another copy of him.
Okay.
If that makes any, because you see these farms that they have, so they probably got to run out of combinations. So they did it kind of by accident.
No Lawrence Fishburne, which is kind of.
But you have, and I forget the man's name, but he played Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen.
Oh, what's the fuck?
He has a name. He has a name.
He's a Billy Crudup.
No. In the show.
Oh.
Yahya Abdul Mateen.
Yes. Yeah.
So he's listed as Morpheus.
I know. I don't like that.
And he has the clip glasses. He has the same outfit and everything.
Okay.
But Carrie Ann Moss still got her fastball.
Big time. Yep. You know me. I love Jessica Henwick from. Remember, she was in Iron Fist.
Yes,
I love her. So
she's in it, and then you have
and just directed by one of the Wachowskis, just Lana Wachowski is directing.
Yeah. You have Christina Ricci is apparently in this.
I like Christina Ricci.
I do too.
I'll be honest with you guys.
Jessica Henwick. So Jessica Henwick, who was also in Game of Thrones, she was one of the Sand Snakes.
Yes. Yeah.
And she has a great look to her too.
Oh, our guy Jonathan Groff is in this.
Yeah.
Neil Patrick Harris is back.
I don't know why he's in it. I don't know why he's in it, but
anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited for The Matrix. So that'll be a standalone episode once we get to that. How about this movie that somehow slipped by me? I don't know how the HE double hockey sticks, Ryan. It slid past me, but it comes out October 8th on Disney Plus. Maybe a standalone. Muppets Haunted House.
Haunted Mansion.
Right? Haunted
so
Mansion.
It's this. I don't know where this came from because they dropped the poster. I didn't hear anything about this.
No, I have no idea. And all of a sudden, I saw the guy who directed it had a tweet, and then my wife and a few other people tagged me in it. They're like, "Did you see this?" And I'm like, "What?" So spooky Muppet stuff.
And the guy who's directing or writing it said, "I've been trying to get this project done for years."
Awesome.
A Muppet Halloween movie, and they finally let me do it. So there's a guy. This guy's passionate about it.
Which I love. Yep. And by the way, friend of the podcast because he liked the tweet that I had. So
and I'm kind of bullshit. Did you see the whole thing with Frank Oz? Like Disney has some beef with Frank Oz, the voice of Kermit the Frog.
Oh, what? Why?
He's not the voice of Kermit anymore, or Miss. I think he's Kermit and Miss Piggy.
And he was obviously Fozzie. That's why they called him Fozzie because of Frank Oz. Foz. Yeah, he was Fozzie. He was Yoda. He was at everything.
Right. So I don't know what they're. He's alive. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. Did you see the trailer for? Anyway, so that's October 8th. So that'll be during Dorktober 6th. Jason Rossi Lives. Is that what we decided to call it?
I think so. Yeah.
Don't look up. The new Adam McKay movie comes out Christmas Eve on Netflix. And you want a cast? How about this one? Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Jonah Hill, Tyler Perry, our guy Ron Perlman, Timothy Chalamet, Ariana Grande, Kate Blanchett, Meryl Streep, Matthew Perry, Chris Evans, Michael Chiklis, Gina Gershon, and Gary Tanguay.
I love how you threw Gary Tanguay in there. Does he have a speaking role in this movie?
I bet he does. I mean, he had a speaking role opposite what's her name, and I Care a Lot. She won a Golden Globe. He was right there with her.
I have no idea what's going on with this movie.
So the film tells the story of two low-level astronomers who go on a giant media tour to warn mankind of an approaching comet that will destroy planet Earth. I like it. I mean,
right, and it's directed by
Adam McKay,
who did. But I feel like the other guys was The Big Short.
Yeah,
this movie, I feel like
he did Vice.
He did. Yes, he did. I feel like Adam McKay is kind of, dare I say, a little bit preachy with this stuff.
All right.
You know, like the other guys, like it went
in Talladega Nights.
I know, but it took like this weird, remember the other guys was like awesome. And then it took this weird thing at the end where he got on a soapbox and started talking about like corporations and how much money people make and like all that shit. Like it was a good, why'd you do that?
Apparently he loves basketball. And Tanguay was telling me that like he would have conversations with him all the time while they were shooting about basketball. And somebody would be like, "Hey, Adam, like we're running behind. We need." He goes, "Would you please? I am talking to Gary about basketball." And he would like continue on set talking.
That's like, fucking cool. I didn't think
pretty cool.
You know, you work with a lot of cool people. I would never like in the real world think like Gary Tanguay was cool.
Yeah, no, Tanguay's good.
He's a good dude, but I wouldn't consider him cool. That's a fucking cool story.
He knows Adam McKay though. Mm-hmm. He knows a ton of people. I gotta go. We should actually get him on the podcast sometime and just talk.
I would love that
because he does a whole bunch of auditions and stuff, and just talk to him about like all the Hollywood world and like
just
trying out
just
the movies. Yeah,
bunch of velvety, smooth, deep voice brothers just chopping it up.
I have to pump my bass way up. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
get in with that group. Ryan, Succession. I know a show you haven't watched. Me and the wife really enjoy it, and they just announced finally season 3 will be out October 17th. So it's kind of funny. They waited forever to announce the date, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, next month." So I'm like,
Like it's in about 3 weeks. So
all right.
fun. Yeah.
How about a little should I have bought this? You want to do a little should I have bought this?
Fuck it, right?
I don't see why we don't. All right, should I have bought this? Brought to you by 47 Brand. Go to 47brand.com and at checkout, enter the promo code #dork for 20% off your entire order. They have some new designs, some badass stuff for. I'm gonna get that Patriots hat.
I'm gonna get that hat.
I want that one so bad. I'm definitely gonna get that.
Any of these little fuckers ever pop out of the fucking wall and say, fuck, there's a horse cock in my room or a donkey dick?
I'm gonna get that hat. So #dork promo code for everything that you need over at 47 Brand. It's football season. You're gonna want to get some football swag. So head on over there for that. How about this one? This one comes in from Christopher.
What
Here
are
we go,
looking at
Ryan.
here?
And so
I think I know what that is.
do you want me to read the description first?
Yes, please.
All right. So he says, "Hey guys, so my fiance has been a massive Harry Potter fan for years, and I came across this customized wand shop called Wizard Wand Shop in Nova Scotia, and I had a handcrafted wand created for her. So as you can see, it looks like a wood wand. Is that what you say?
That's a wooden wand. Yep.
They don't consider themselves Harry Potter fans, but they think they are actually wizards, and told me all about the type of wood they would pick based on my descriptions of my fiance and what carvings it would get. So you're already liking this, I think. These are real wizards. See, you can see.
We have. I'm looking at the wood right now, and I'm like, we have this very specific type of mystical wood.
Look at the carvings.
It's called pine.
Look at those carvings. You seeing those? Looks like
I see a leaf and like a fucked up star. That's like it looks like a Nick Fryer star. It's all fucking wonked on one side. Now it's handcrafted, so you have to give them. It looks. I mean,
don't forget about the handcrafted.
Dude.
And these were descriptions. And he goes, anyway, all this stuff recently with J.K. Rowling coming out, making comments, etc. Is the wand now tainted? He says the shop. No, but he says the shop has no affiliation with Rowling. So I feel like I'm good, but maybe anything magic related is now a no-no. He goes, also, if this has any sway in your decision, this wand possesses absolutely no magical abilities, which I feel like I was gypped by the description of the creators, says they pretty much guaranteed magic exists. #piss.
What the fuck?
Do you want me to tell you the price, or do you want to try to guess it first? Right, you want to guess it?
I don't, but I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt. I could make this wand for $5.
The carvings, honestly, and I mean no disrespect.
No.
It looks like an asshole did it.
I could pull my 7-year-old daughter out of her room, out of a dead sleep, and be like, carve some stars into this, and she would do a better job.
It's a fucking train wreck, the carvings.
It seriously looks like the wand itself. So you have this it's finished with like a dark brown finish, like a dark brown stain. The wood itself on the wand looks like you pulled a piece off of a dining room chair.
You're going to have problems, just like everything else. But stay positive and stay strong.
Well, all right, so you want to take a stab at it? People in the chat are taking a stab at it. Oh, Christopher, who he's also in the house. All right, do you want to take a stab?
No, I don't. I need you to tell me right now.
With shipping, this is important.
Fuck.
$120.
Fuck you, no way.
Fuck out of here!
No fucking way. It's a fucking dowel that they put on a lathe and a 6-year-old carved stars into it. What are you doing?
This guy, you got taken for a ride.
Oh, I hope your wife. I hope she appreciated it.
Fuck out of here!
That is the most expensive.
like you ripped a banister off of like somebody.
It's like, the thing that goes across the bottom of a kitchen chair.
Yeah.
You just rip that off.
You might have like a mop that if you just rip the mop part off, that's what you'd have. You'd have the same goddamn thing. I love how they ask descriptions about her, and they're like, "This is what you like: a star and a leaf."
Here's a pine stick that we found. We threw it on a lathe, and we basically this is an old closet handle
and no magic whatsoever.
Zero.
Look at that thing. Because they sell. I remember talking to a guy I used to work with. He went down to the Harry Potter thing down at Disney. And he said he bought a wand. His girlfriend wanted a wand, and it was like fucking.
Josh in the chat said there's more magic in the monkey schlong.
That's a great callback.
I will tell you this.
That is a great callback,
Chris. I will tell you this. This is absolutely the fuck not. But this might be my favorite. Should I have bought this?
This is a good one. This is
my favorite one.
Thanks for sending. By the way, send them in dorkpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for having a sense of humor about it. For everybody that gets the no thanks, you got to know if you're even asking. There's a chance that maybe you shouldn't have. Fucking $120 out the door,
and that's bargain bin.
That's still nuts. Yeah, you got.
Okay, so I'm looking at the wood. Is that ash or is it pine?
Don't
one of the two.
Swear. Oh my God. What game show have you ever seen that had swearing in it?
It's actually not bad.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm not. That thing stinks out loud.
It's a piece of shit, but we had fun. We're having a nice time.
You had a good time.
Right, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Y'all ready for biz?
Does it come with stars and
Well, I need to get to know you a little bit more, and then.
You need to know my story. I need to explain my story to you.
Oh man! All right, it's the topic of the day, and today it is the PlayStation Showcase. So, without further ado,
it's time for Davey's video game
hour.
Even if it takes more than a minute.
Hour. So. This entire the rest of the program is brought to you by our friends at Wild Bill Soda. Go to drinkwildbills.com. Use the promo code Ron Von D. Get yourself a mug. Get yourself some sody pops. Get you some jerky. Whatever. Get some coffee.
They got everything.
They got everything
over there, for God's sake.
And I tell you, the salt of the earth people, really cool people who would appreciate it. Local, veteran owned and operated. So please go to wildbillsoda.com. Use the promo code Ron Von D and get you some and keep our streak going as their two best salesmen.
How do you like that?
Or partnered salesmen. They have people who work for the company legitimately who probably do a really good job.
I would imagine do better than we do. But I'm going to update the LinkedIn to say number one partner.
So there we go. So what a day. One of my favorite GIFs or GIFs that I send out is it's from Archer, and it's him and with a guy named Krieger who's telling him to please stop. My penis can only get so erect. And PlayStation came out. They did their PlayStation.
In my past.
They did their PlayStation showcase, which was amazing. Now, there was somebody who was like, I tweeted something to the effect of like, I would love to hear who still says like Xbox has better exclusives than PlayStation. And some guy was like, God of War didn't even look that good. The only one I'd play is Spider-Man. I was like, you are out of your goddamn mind.
Yeah.
So we talk about this all the time. There's objectivity and subjectivity, but you can have an opinion and be wrong. That dude's wrong. 80% of these games look absolute fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Let's start with the biggest name ones first, rather than saving them for the end. This way we can spend as much time as we want on them, and then if we want to just kind of throw the other ones in there quickly before we get out of here. But start with some of your favorite ones that you saw. We'll kick them around.
So the favorite one, I mean, right out of the chute, I mean, obviously I'm going to go Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Insomniac Spider-Man 2. So this opens up, it's kind of a dead street. You have this voiceover who I picked out right away, given the accent and what he was saying about never having a challenge, wanting someone to challenge him or defeat him, had to be Kraven the Hunter, which to me Fuck yeah. I mean, because that's Craven's Last Hunt. That's the whole story behind that. It's him actually coming to New York and seeking out Spider-Man, actually becoming Spider-Man for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if they do that story, that's going to be fucking incredible. So you have Miles and Peter fighting together.
Both of them, and they both look sick. It's both from the recent game suits too.
Yes.
I'm sure there'll be 1,000 suits in the game, just like there were in the last one. I still haven't played the Miles Morales game.
It's wonderful.
I'm going to. I honestly I wanted to play it on PS5. You know how that has gone for me, so that's why
it's one of those things where it stands as its own thing.
Yeah,
and it doesn't take away from the Spider-Man game. It actually adds to it. The whole thing is like after the events of Spider-Man, Peter and Mary Jane finally go on vacation.
Got it.
So it's just Miles. Miles is on his own.
And by the way, if you check our archives, we don't do a ton of standalone episodes on video games, but the Spider-Man PlayStation game is one of them.
Yes.
We dove into the gameplay, the story, everything on that. I loved it. Like, it's as close to the Batman Arkham games as we've had.
Right.
I had a blast. And the Easter eggs, I could just swing around the city looking for, Murdoch and Nelson's like law firm and like all this stuff all over the city. That stuff is the best, and that's one of those games that I had to 100% too. Like and
Insomniac has done such a good job with all of this stuff. Even telling the stories of the characters, I thought was incredible. And then so you get this whole thing, and you have Craven talking is like, is anybody gonna blah blah blah, and then you hear the growl from the alley and says, yes, we will, and then you get the shot of Venom's face.
Awesome,
voiced, by
Tony Todd.
Tony Todd,
Candyman,
which like
pretty
holy
incredible
shit.
stuff. Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. And because I'm still a little leery of how the Venom Carnage movie is going to be, and so the chances of us getting the best version of Venom in this video game is probably pretty strong.
I would say strong to quite strong.
Yeah.
And just think of like one of the things that jumps out at me right away too is the suits.
Yeah,
they did such a great job in Miles Morales and in
First Spider-Man
of all the cool suits. So I can't
wait.
imagine.
I know,
like what they're going to come up with now. Like
now it's going to have to be bigger too, right? Like that's the that's the best part about Batman too. Is like Arkham Asylum was such a cool game, and then you're like, well, they can't really top that. They're like, oh yeah, you get the whole city. Now you get even more, and then it just expands from there. So I think hopefully,
and like, now you get the Batmobile, and you're like, we really didn't need the Batmobile, and they're like, yeah, but we're gonna 50% of the game is gonna be the Batmobile, and you're like, I don't want the Batmobile.
I want less. Yeah, I'm not saying it got better each game, but just sort of like the stuff to do and where you can go. And
absolutely,
I wonder if it's gonna be. Do you think you pick and choose Peter and Miles, or they sort of choose for you?
I think there's going to be mission. If my mind is, think of like Grand Theft Auto, which we'll get to in a minute, but like think of that where you can kind of there's missions for specific people that progress the story, and you can kind of switch in and out.
And you could like take like you're sick of playing with one guy, you can go to the other guy. Yeah, that's true. That's probably
cool. I love that mechanic. That was one of my favorite parts of Grand Theft Auto is be able to switch characters and play as different who have different styles and different things. So if they bite that from Grand Theft Auto, be my guest.
Yeah, take it.
So I mean, this game, if it's Craven, if it's Venom, I think this is a perfect arena to do this story in. I can't wait. I'm so excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
Kick it over to you. Why don't you kickflip off of that and do the next one?
So there wasn't any gameplay footage, but it was the ultimate teaser, and that would be for Wolverine, another PlayStation 5 exclusive, and
another Insomniac game.
Insomniac game. So you know what the baseline is going to be. It's going to be an awesome game. And talk about if we were going to come up with a list. Actually, this is what we're going to do. Right after we're talking about Wolverine, other characters that haven't had games that need games, because I know Wolverine had a game before, but if we're talking about PS5 games and Insomniac,
and
Wolverine
just like
would be up there. Wolverine is high up there.
The producer or the director of the game confirmed that it's a mature rated game.
Oh, I know.
That was the one thing I was worried about, where they were like, oh, they're going to show blood. Guy has got, it's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They have swords, and you never see them cut anything but a robot.
No, it needs to be like Logan. Like
I need limbs coming off. I need, fists through the.
But there's the one scene of him at the bar, and the whole bar is in shambles. Like the light above the pool table's down. There's people on the ground, and one guy gets up to like walk towards him, pulls out a knife, and he's just sitting on the table. He's got like his whiskey or whatever. He puts it down and then just puts his arm out, and the fucking claws come out, and you're like,
Yeah.
this is going to be the coolest game in the world.
And then somebody Lorraine Sink, who wrote the Powers of a Girl, the whole thing with Marvel, and she's written a bunch of stuff for Marvel. I think she wrote some Miss Marvel or whatever. She pointed out in the trailer that the license plate on the bar said HLK 181, which is a reference to Hulk 181, which is the very first appearance of Wolverine.
Yeah, which I got here behind me.
Which
obviously just a poster. Somebody thought these were real comics one day. I'm like,
no, they're massive.
$1 worth of comics behind me.
And not only that, if you get to fight Hulk as Wolverine in this game,
incredible. Because who else would you want his villains to be? Like Sabretooth?
Sabretooth is in the game. I know that.
All right.
I mean, he's also in Midnight Suns too.
I wonder if any X-Men are going to like help you or not help you.
Or, I mean, do you go after, is it the whole Weapon X thing? Do you going at Stryker and all that stuff?
Yeah, you could do that. Or also, remember they teased in Apocalypse, they teased Mr. Sinister, the movie.
Yeah.
We never really got him, but that'd be good. And then I wonder if this sort of pushes into our conversation of like what other characters they could do. I wonder if there's some sort of like Deadpool cameo, and then that launches the idea of him getting his own game.
Well, and I tweeted out, like, did we just witness the start of the MVU, the Marvel video game universe?
Maybe.
Because that would be something. And now I would love to see, a Wolverine who has lived a very long time. Omega Red would be really good.
Red would be good.
But you could bring in Viper. You could bring in X-23. You could bring in like all of these characters.
Yeah.
Because I picture him as a seasoned Wolverine who's had a kind of enough of the hero thing.
But not Old Man Logan. It doesn't.
No, we're in between. We're in between them.
Killed everybody. Yeah.
Right. But, and maybe in X-Men are trying to get him back. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want anything to do with it anymore.
It looks, I mean, again, it was just a real short snippet, but the fact that they're doing this game. So these are both PS5 exclusives, right?
Yes.
And we're talking like 2023 for one of them was 2023, right?
I think Wolverine's 2023.
Yeah.
I think actually, no, both of them are. I think Spider-Man's early 2023 and Wolverine is later 2023.
I mean, Christ.
But we're still, you got to keep in mind too.
I might have a PS5.
2022, I think we're getting Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. We're getting a bunch of other shit too in 2022.
We're getting Gotham
Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah, very soon.
So I play as Red Hood, and then I can play as whoever in the Suicide Squad.
You're going to have plenty of stuff to hold you over.
And then these, yeah. So those will be like the next 4 games I get.
Mhm.
I'm on the fence, and I know you're trying to talk me into it, but I'm still on the fence about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, so here you have Guardians of the Galaxy, and you have their kind of gameplay trailer. First, I was going to mention this in This Week in Dork. So Star-Lord, the band, which I think is an awesome twist, by the way. I know we talked about it a little bit. I love the twist that Star-Lord was his favorite band.
Right.
I love that. And they dropped their first single, and the song fucking rips. It's awesome.
All right.
It's called Space Pirates with No Name or something like that. The game's awesome. I mean, the song's awesome. If you haven't heard it yet, it's on Spotify. It's on iTunes. Space Riders with No Name. There it is.
All right.
It's wonderful. So check that song out. The story is like basically the story of Borderlands 3, where there's this cult and that they're trying to take over the universe and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. But Cosmo, the dog, speaks, which is nice. That's a nice little thing. I feel like it has a very, it's got a James Gunn feel to it.
Okay.
Your girl Gamora looks great.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be better than you think it is. It's not going to be Spider-Man. It's not going to be Wolverine, but it's going to be just good enough. I think, who's making it? I think it's IDOS, the same people who made, or Crystal Dynamics, the same people who made Marvel's Avengers. I think they've learned from that mistake and are going to deliver something that's pretty spot on.
It's all about who you can play as, right? At least in Marvel, like the Avengers, you can play as all of them. And in this one right now, it's Star-Lord. And I know you said you can direct the other ones, but it's like, I want to play as Gamora, or I think it'd be cool to play as Rocket, or it'd be cool to play as Drax.
But I wonder if it's one of those things where at the story mode, like initially you play as one character and then you can pick.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but I wonder if there's like you unlock, after you play it one time through, or now you can play as everyone else. Like that would be a nice little.
It could be great. It's just that's the one I'm more leery about. All the other ones are going to be a slam dunk. Like Wolverine, Spider-Man 2 are going to be just all-time games, I bet.
Yes.
This one, we'll see.
So moving on from there, I mean, the biggest title that the thing that people have kind of been waiting for in the PlayStation area is the sequel to the God of War remake, God of War Ragnarok, which you did get a very first look at. It's kind of picking up right where the other story left off. Are we in spoilers right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you haven't played God of War yet, or you don't know what happens at the end, basically you find out that Atreus, who is Kratos' son,
Or even the Romans or Greeks,
finds out that he is in fact Loki. So Loki is now older. He has a bunch of questions. He needs to know who he is and why it's been kept a secret from him. And the title of the game suggests that the reason why it's being kept from him by these people, and they were very protective of never telling him who he really was, is because Loki is directly responsible for the fall of the Asgardians.
Right.
Insofar as so they have these character posters, which I'm going through right now. I'm just looking at them right now. You have, and I'm looking at them, Thor, who is played by Ryan Hurst, who's voiced by Ryan Hurst, who you would know as Opie from White Trash Sopranos. What am I? Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, I was like, Opie?
The Dork Podcast with Rich Keefe. It's the Dork.
And you have a very robust, fat Thor, who is more mythology accurate. So Ryan Hurst, who you know as Opie from Sons of Anarchy, is voicing Thor. Christopher Judge, and I forget the kid's name, Sonny Suljic are back as Kratos and Atreus, respectively. Freya's back, Brock and Sindri. And then you have two new characters who they show up, actually three, but whatever. And this is, I can use Angerboda, who is the young female, the young black lady, or who is, not to give too much away, but if you've read the Poetic Edda,
or even the Romans or Greeks,
that she becomes Loki's wife.
All right.
And together, she referred to in Norse mythology as the mother of monsters. One of their children is Fenrir, who is the wolf who starts Ragnarok.
Okay.
So these two got to get together, and she gives birth to Fenrir, this massive wolf who you might remember from Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok is the big wolf that Hulk fights. Is Fenrir?
Oh yeah. Okay.
So he winds up destroying. So Loki is in that way is responsible for the fall of the gods.
That makes sense. All right.
But it was more interesting because then you get Tyr, who is Odin's son, who is the Norse god of war. So you have two gods of war in this game.
So many gods of war.
So many. Well, isn't that fascinating that like you can move culture to every culture has one.
Right.
So that's the fascinating thing.
When is this coming out?
This is coming out, I believe.
Because
I don't think they gave a fixed.
There's a lot going on there though.
2018. See you next year. So we're happy to be finally sharing a taste of what we've been working on Santa Monica Studios. As always, 2022.
All right.
So I would say end of the year.
Okay.
2022.
All right.
So fuck yeah, man. That game looks awesome.
Where is your excitement level on Gran Turismo 7?
So here's how I feel about I never streamed them. I never really did, but I love racing games. I really do. I love Dirt. I've always loved Gran Turismo. So Need for Speed, all of those games. One of the things that I find inaccessible about Gran Turismo is it's a racing simulator. It's very hard to play with a controller.
Yeah.
And it's gotten so good. It's gotten so good that you actually need the wheel and like the gearbox and like the pedals to like play it correctly. Because I played the last one. I played Gran Turismo 6.
Okay.
It's
I've
great.
been for a while, but
so you remember Gran Turismo 4 A-Spec was incredible. I didn't think you could ever get a better racing simulator than that game.
Yeah, I just remember because I'm not even a car guy, but just playing these games, you're like, this is quite detailed. You were getting everything, and then it just drives like it does for real. I'm like, this is a game I don't think I'd want to buy, but I want to play it. I want to play this for like a little. This would be a game you didn't rent a lot of games. But this would be a game I would rent for like a weekend, and then I think I'd be good with it.
But the cars, like the cars they've showcased in this are outrageous.
Yeah,
they go from the most classic. They I saw the thing in the trailer. They're racing like old army jeeps to that electric car that like Lamborghini just came out with, or that concept car. Like the cars in these games have always been ridiculous, but I feel like every car known to man, you can drive it and customize it in this game. So if you're a fan of racing simulators, it doesn't get Forza. I know for Xbox is done very well, but this is the kind of the gold standard for those things.
Oh my god!
So
for sure.
Yeah.
What else you got?
What else I got? So I got a couple of remakes or remasters that they're doing that I'm pretty excited about. Uncharted, so A Thief's End and the Lost Legacy, I think, are getting remade for PlayStation 5 and PC. So that's really good. Alan Wake is getting a remaster, which is one of the sneaky better games I played on PlayStation. I think it was PlayStation 3, maybe.
Okay.
It's kind of like it's kind of like a lighter, but Silent Hill, like that kind of vibe to it.
All right.
But more like if Stephen King wrote Silent Hill, it would be like that. So I really did like, now good Stephen King, not recent, not last 20 years Stephen King.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying. And then the big remake that we're getting is Knights of the Old Republic, which if you played, that is probably the best Star Wars game I've ever played.
Yeah, it's great. I'm a fan. This remake I want to get.
It's going to be very, very good. I'm very excited for that. And again, to take a game like that, honor what it was, polish it up, and then maybe add some things to it.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Love that shit.
Bring me.
I think we play that game forever. There it is. I love that game.
There's a lot there.
Could you name me a better Star Wars game?
No, I don't think so. No, Knights of the Old Republic.
Creating your own Jedi?
I'm trying to think what else I like.
Does it get better than that?
Tell you what, it wasn't. It was Battlefront.
It was not. Battlefront was not that.
It was not Battlefront. No, what was the other one that was pretty good? Fuck.
Force Unleashed was actually really, really.
I think it was Force. Was it the first Force Unleashed?
With Star Killer with the two lightsabers. That was really good. But I do like Knights of the Old Republic better. And Fallen Order was actually pretty good. That was a pretty good game.
A pod racing game.
Not for me.
Sneaky fun though.
I think it's sneaky fun, but it came out. That's Sebulba guy.
Yeah. Oh, he's a real son of a bitch, isn't he?
Real son of a bitch. Yeah.
I mean, Anakin was just a kid, for Christ's sake.
Racing with his feet, talking shit.
I don't like him.
I don't like that.
For him at all.
It's a boy. Just a boy. But
that's good. Good list. Anything else?
Let's see. I got a couple more.
Go ahead.
So what else we got? There's a game coming out. So it's set in the Vampire the Masquerade universe, but I think they said it's free to play. A game called Blood Hunt, which is a battle royale. So think of like the game Rogue Company, which I love. It's a third-person battle royale game, but you're vampires.
Oh,
what do you think of that? And vampire hunters, conversely.
I think I'm in, because
if you see the trailer for that, you might be in.
People are like, vampires are so 2000 and late. Not for me.
Not for me.
They're not.
Especially good ones.
Every which way.
And so they have that thing, that game mechanic where there's different factions. So you can be like a Nosferatu vampire who has a different skill set than a Bruja, or has a different skill set than like a regular vampire. So I think the Nosferatu ones are a little bit stealthier, whereas the Bruja ones are a little beefier, stronger.
Yeah.
More straightforward shotgun style.
Like it.
So another thing, a game coming out next week, actually, Deathloop, which you finally got a story mode for this. It's made by the same people who made Dishonored. And you are an assassin who's stuck in like a Palm Springs time loop, right? And there's 8 scientists keeping you from breaking the time loop. So you have to kill all of them. And if you die, you go right back to the start.
Oh, so I haven't. Is this out yet?
It's coming out tomorrow, actually.
Okay. So
Yeah.
obviously I've not played it, and I don't always subscribe to the IGN ratings.
Yes.
But I believe this got a 10 out of 10.
And
IGN.
I love these games.
Yeah.
The Dishonored games are really, really good. From a first-person shooter story mode perspective, they were really, really cool. So you have to kill these 8 scientists, and if you die, you go back to the start. Add a wrinkle, there's another assassin hunting you while you're hunting them. So you actually have to avoid her while you're doing your thing.
I like that very much.
Right?
I gotta say.
I gotta say. So I will, again, I don't always... IGN, I think, is sneaky guilty of being paid to review something well.
Maybe.
I don't think anyone would ever admit that, but there are certain games that like weren't that good that
pumped up, and then
yeah.
But every once in a while they shit on stuff, so maybe it's like, all right, maybe they didn't get anything for those.
Which games that I really enjoyed.
Yeah,
that they take a dump on, right? But anyway, so some games, we talked about this with Malignant, where you said this is going to be someone's favorite game, but not mine. Right. Ghostwire Tokyo, which is a game that like there's two, and there might be a theme here, I'm not sure, and a game called Project Eve, which are very Japanese RPG type games. One's first person, one's third person.
Okay,
but I'm getting like a near vibe from Project Eve, and I don't know what Ghostwire. I don't know what it is, but they're a little too of a certain style that I don't really like, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So these two games. Yeah, these two games are going to review wonderfully,
right?
But I'm not going to like it. It's same as think of Bloodborne or Dark Souls. Like I fucking hate those games.
I can't do it. We've talked about it before. I like a game. It doesn't need to be over the top easy, but it needs to be beatable without me like throwing the controller through the window.
No, and it needs to be. And I like the fact that these games have the fan base that they do that are so diehard.
Yeah,
but at its core, the game has to be fun. Like you said, challenging but rewarding. I have no problem working for something if it's within reason.
Right. Oh yeah, exactly.
And not frustrating.
I hear
you. But some people like that kind of thing. It's not for me. One thing that can fuck right off, by the way, in this whole showcase, I think the one thing that I think can get out of my goddamn face, stop giving me more Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't need it.
Fuck out of here!
I don't need it.
I'm so sick of that, and I'm not even saying like, oh, I need Grand Theft Auto 6 tomorrow, but don't give me any more downloads for 5 or announcements or remasters or whatever stuff to promote on there. I don't need it at all. Let me know when 6 is. If it's in 5 years, fine. I'll get it in 5 years. I don't.
When Grand Theft Auto, we finally see it and say like 2023, like if you finally see like a trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6, Grand Theft Auto 5 will be 10 years old.
It's insane.
Game came out in 2013.
Do you think we get Grand Theft Auto 6 or another Batman game first?
Well, you're getting Gotham Knights, so that's...
I mean like Batman, because I feel like in Gotham Knights, don't you use Robin, Red Hood?
Yes. So they were like downloadable content. It's just like, I don't know, man. I'm over it.
It's a tough one.
It's one of the better games I've ever played. I'm just done. I love the heists but the game, the multiplayer is so outrageously broken that I can't play it.
No, it was fun for like a little bit. I didn't really get into it, but the single player was just so goddamn good.
So good.
Yeah.
So incredible. Good. But that's the one thing I didn't want. I was like, I don't need a fucking Grand Theft Auto 5 remaster. I don't.
Yeah. Speaking of Batman, did you hear what Michael Keaton said about the first time he put on the bat suit?
Too much fucking shit on me. I can't breathe.
I heard he had a real problem with it, and they had to. So it was made from a certain type of like latex that if he
for the head, yeah.
If he sweat, but if he went up sweating in it, they had to cut it off him because it would shrink.
That's great. It's great.
Yeah, no thanks, man. I wouldn't put that shit on.
No fucking way. No fucking way.
We covered a lot of ground.
Love it.
No, I would get so claustrophobic in that fucking thing. No shot I would put that on.
What's the next game you're gonna play?
The next game, probably Deathloop. So Deathloop comes out tomorrow. So And we're moving again.
Oh shit! I just remembered something. But go ahead.
We're moving the stream to YouTube, so no more Twitch.
Yeah, we're done with Twitch.
So we're streamlining the stream. Everything we stream is going to be right here. One-stop shop.
We're screenlining.
Screenlining. That's nice. I like that.
So,
Trademark.
I don't know when we're going to do this, but we're going to open this up because apparently you can now host your own thing in Fall Guys. So I was talking to Shime about this, and he was saying what we do is one night we would stream it, and we would get everybody that wants to play from the Dork Shared Universe, and we'll get them on a Discord, and those will be the people who play. But then we'll also send out an invite so people who listen to the shows can also join us and play along in a massive room of Fall Guys.
How many is it? 75 or 100?
It's at least 60.
All right, I'm going to find out. I'm going to Google it. You keep talking. I'm going to Google it right now.
So
it's a private lobby, right?
Yeah. So what we can do, because Shine was saying that must be like a new thing that they have now allowed in that. So
and it's crossplay too, right? So anybody can play.
Crossplay. So I'm playing it on, or is it crossplay?
Yeah.
Or is it
How
just
many people can be in a Fall Guys party at the same time?
No, I think it is. I think it is crossplay. You're right. But grab it for PlayStation, and we will send out whatever and get in on this thing. And so we'll send out. So that's another reason to follow at Dork Podcast on Twitter. We'll kind of keep you guys all abreast on what's going on there. So if you have Fall Guys, you want to play with us at some point, I don't know when it's going to be, but we'll try to do it. Davey is frozen on my end. I don't know if I'm talking to myself or not, but Davey is frozen on my end. So anyway, yeah, Fall Guys. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Give it a bing. It was a free download. Now it probably isn't, but I can't imagine it's a whole lot of money right now, whether it's PC or PlayStation. It's the game. We streamed it a while ago. It's the one where you're like this little tiny dude, and it's basically Wipeout, like the game Wipeout, like the game show. And you just have to run up these like slip and slides and do all this other nonsense and get to the top. And then there's like some team games in there, which aren't as good, but it's another thing that you can do. So I'm all in on that. So download Fall Guys, and we will send out some invites at some point. All right, you guys are here. Davey obviously had some sort of issue, but he'll be back. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to continue with the show.
Pick of the bomb. Pick of the bomb. Pick of the bomb. Pick of the bomb.
Ryan Davey is back now.
I'm back. My computer just crashed.
I was like, all of a sudden, I'm like, fuck, because I know last week I had internet issues. So I'm like, am I the one that's having problems? And everybody else can see Davey?
What had happened was I had all of the trailers and all of the links to all the games that PlayStation did. So everything was running at once, and my computer was just like, fuck you, I'm done.
That's what happened. I need to shut all my windows. I had so many things up last week was the problem. Jordan brings up a good point. Yeah, I did. I finally found an outfit where my Fall Guys guy can run without tripping over his cock. So. Well,
we've actually learned how to use it to like pole vault over obstacles.
Correct. You can kind of use it as a... for lack of a better word, a pole vault.
No, I'm really excited to play that game again, though. I think that's going to be really fun.
Yeah, me too. I just fired up the PlayStation the other day, and all the games started like downloading because I haven't been on in forever. So again, we'll figure out Fall Guys. As for the pick of the pod, Rye, would you like to kick, receive, defer, or you may also choose to defend a goal?
I will receive right now. I am halfway through the first episode of 4 of Why the Last Man on Hulu. So the first 4 episodes came out.
So quick pause.
Yes.
I know it's on Hulu. It's very misleading because it says exclusively on FX on Hulu.
Right.
So I have Hulu, but I have Hulu with ads. I also have cable. So I went to DVR it, and I don't think it's actually on FX.
It's not. So
pisses me off.
Well, so FX is owned by Fox,
right,
which is owned by Disney,
right,
which also owns Hulu. So,
but for example, so you would watch Dave on Hulu.
Yes.
I would watch Dave on my DVR, and that way I could fast forward the commercials. I can't fast forward commercials now on Why the Last Man, but I'm really glad you brought this up because I should have put it in This Week in Dork. But anyway, what's your first impression?
It's good. It's very, very good. It's very, very well done. Diane Lane, who is lovely, plays Yorick's mother, so that's nice.
Steal a smooch.
Mm-hmm. So I would say I'm halfway through the first episode, and it's, I would say, strong to quite strong. I would say we are flirting. Now, keep in mind, I haven't watched them all yet, so this is just...
laser beam! It's better than fireballs, you pussy!
We are flirting with fireballs right now.
Come on.
It could get better. It could get better. It could be chode jeans by the end, but right now it's a little fireball action.
All right. Well, I'm definitely going to watch that. That'll be the next thing in my queue to watch.
Right in your queue zone.
Yeah. Did you say you had two things or you said one thing?
Okay. So the other thing I want to put to the audience as well, so you and I talked about this off air, right? We now have chode jeans as a 1.
Yeah, we have set the scale. The scale obviously on Dork is still going to be 1 through 6. But
and
now
I just
we have-
I just had a good one.
So 1 is chode jeans, 6 is laser beams, 5 is fireballs. So if something is a 5 out of 6, it's fireballs. So we have sort of an opening for 2, 3, and 4.
I just had a good one for 4. What was I just talking about?
You were talking
about Why the Last Man.
Why the Last Man. Diane Lane.
I forget. Fuck. I just it slipped my mind. But I had a good one for 4.
All right. Well, anyway.
Yeah. Fuck.
People can email us dorkpodcast@gmail.com. Actually, email us your should I have bought this as well, dorkpodcast@gmail.com. Tweet us at dorkpodcast, all this other stuff. Yeah, so we're going to reset the scale. That's what we're going to do.
Yes. Something that's worth your time. Definitely worth your time. But
Joshua wants 4 to be the monkey. No, the monkey's better than a 4.
Monkey's better than 4. But
Monkey's
it's not as good as fireballs.
Poop-stain, that's not helpful.
No, that's not helpful either.
3 is the wand. No, the wand's worse.
The wand is worse.
2 is Friar's mask.
These are all. I'm glad I asked.
That's not bad.
Yeah. 1 is tattoos. I think 2.
They're not
it's a tattoo.
No.
Tattoo. The number 2.
What are we, 10 years old? I've seen every cock on the planet.
All right. Well, we're still workshopping it. Thanks, guys.
But get it because 2. Tattoo.
So I want to thank.
You just gonna gloss over. You just not even listen to me.
I'm
That's
not
rude.
doing that.
That's rude.
We don't need to rely on puns. We don't need to. We're above that. Well, it's funny because I saw people in the chat were talking about True Blood, which is one of my favorite shows.
Mm-hmm.
And
speaking of seeing every cock on the planet.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. They're like, but all the stuff about remember all the puns, and they're like, well, look, you got to understand that like a lot of vampires are really old, and like at one point that was like the highest form of comedy. Like, everything was like pun names, all their like restaurants and stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what was that movie. There was like a French movie that they made us watch in high school about like people puns and all that shit. Ridicule, whatever.
Anyway,
yeah.
I want to thank Dr. Joe from the TLDR podcast. First of all, congratulations, as he was the Stein hoisting co-champion once again.
Can really lift it.
Oktoberfest.
You know what I noticed? He had a very peculiar thing in his stance where he would put his fist on his lower back to support himself. I think that's the trick.
It's smart because I was the host, so I made the rules, and it was straight arm. I don't care if you lean, and you can't support your arm with your other arm, but there's no rule that says you can't put your fist into your lower back and kind of jam yourself upward.
Yeah,
which he did, and it worked. He also told me about this app. It's called Hoopla, Hoopla. And so you can get it on an app on your phone. You can also, it's just a website if you want to like do it on your computer, which is where I read. And basically, if you have a library card, all you need is a library card.
I do.
And you enter that in, and there are so many comic books available to you on this. It's crazy. And it's one of those things that they limit like how many per month you can read or borrow or whatever, but who cares? It's still so many more than I would have. I've already ripped through so many. I've caught up on Saga. I've read all the way up to the top of Saga.
And you full mast for that?
Oh, that is laser beams, of course. Yeah. Laser beams. Silver Surfer Black, written by Donny Cates.
Ooh,
really good.
Okay.
I read Captain America White, which I had not read. That's the Jeff Loeb Tibbs sale. Remember they did the color series in Marvel?
Yes. Yep.
Spider-Man one was good. The Daredevil one's really good. The Hulk one's really good. I never
Spider-Man Blue, right?
Yeah, Spider-Man Blue is really good.
There you go. Right there. Ready?
Hoopla. You are going to love it.
Got it.
You're going to love this goddamn Hoopla thing. Mm-hmm. I've just been reading them up a storm. Oh, I read The Question, The Deaths of Vic Sage is a DC Black Label book written by Jeff Lemire. So it's a full book. It's only like 4 or 5 issues, but it's the whole
own thing.
Pretty fucking cool.
Okay.
And then I'm reading Daphne Byrne right now, which is also a Black Label book in DC. It's under the Hill House imprint, Joe Hill. Man, I'm excited. Like I just got like a little fire lit under my old keister.
Fireballs.
I've been reading stuff up to my dick in comic books right now.
Up to my my Fall Guy size dick.
Years old. I've seen every cock on the planet.
I bring it.
You do bring it.
I do bring it, if nothing else. Next week, Ryan. So, by the way, Dorktober's coming up. We have a few ideas for Dorktober 6, Jason Rossi Lives, including I might just do a rundown of the horror movies that have come out this year, because there's been a pile of them, and I've seen a ton of them.
Yeah.
Including Malignant. So we can talk about those. We can talk about some other stuff. But next week, is next week an open date too?
Pretty much.
Or did I have something? I don't think so.
We could do the first Why the Last Man's. We could do
Why the Last Man's.
Could do, I don't know how many episodes left are in What If. Not a lot, right?
Now, What If is done. That's scheduled for the 11th of October is when we do that episode.
So we'll do that one the following week. Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Could be TBD. But follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Dork Podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We stream live every Monday night if you want to go back and watch it, especially with the Should I Have Bought This, if you want to see what these items were. If you're listening to the podcast right now, you're like, I really want to see what that piece of shit wand looks like. Go to youtube.com/Dork Podcast. Watch the show there. Also subscribe to it. And we're going to be streaming some more video games on the YouTube channel as well at Arvon D. On the Twitter as well. Anything else that we missed here, Rye?
So, Mr. Monrosa, what about a Q&A week? I would answer some Q&As.
We could do a Q&A.
Live Q&A session.
We always do. Yeah, we can always fall back in the old mailbag Q&A. True. That's true. All right, that's not a bad idea.
A little fan service Monday or something.
Not bad. Yeah, not bad. That one guy got on us at one time because we didn't write back or something like that.
It happens all the time.
Well, anyway. Brian, what do they say about wombats, my friend?
Square poops, baby.
You're going to have problems, just like everything else. But stay positive and stay strong. Stay positive and stay strong.